Today we're going to talk about guidelines. And when you're creating a design, such as a poster or a comic strip, something that needs words, you need to use a guideline. And the best way to get the guidelines is to use a ruler of appropriate size. So for my poster, I'm going to create a poster about posters. So I made a little practice sketch, and you can see I have the title, I have an image, and then I have a little tagline on the bottom. So what I've got to do first of all, and this is not a very big poster, but I want to decide how big these words need to be. I've got a square drawing. This is a rectangle. So it's possible that it would work better if I turned it vertically. So let's try that out. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a top guideline. This is the upper line. This is where the tops of your letters will touch. And with a whisper, I'm not pushing very hard on my pencil, I'm just dragging lightly, I'm going to make a line. I'm going to come down here, let's see, maybe I'll use this little 6-inch ruler, and I'm going to make it, let's make the letters 3.5 inches. So I'm going to make a mark here, line it up with 0, make another 3.5, there's 3, and then I'll go a half. And now I can be sure that my lines are 3.5 inches apart. Line up my ruler, press down, gently drag my pencil across to make that guideline. Now, I like to make a center line. If your letters are going to be all capitals, it's not as important. But I do like to make my little center line in there so I know where my halfway is. Sometimes I'll even make it kind of dashed, like a primary writing paper. All right, now I'm going to lightly sketch in my letters. You know what I should do? I should center them. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. So if I divide that in half, I can say, okay, I've got 3 letters on this side and 3 letters on this side. So the T is going to be right in the center. You can eyeball it, just look and find the visual center, or you can actually measure it and find the center. For this exercise, I think I will go ahead and measure it. Since I know my paper is 12 inches, half of 12 is going to be 6. So that means that my T is going to be right here. T, whoops, E, R, S, and I have to put the SOP over here. S, O, and P. Okay? It's looking neat already, nice and evenly spaced. It'll be easy for people to read as they walk by, and if this is a billboard, then you want it to be easy as people drive by as well. So I can go ahead and make my bubble letters. All I'm doing is fattening up the letter forms. This one needs to be a little fatter this way, I think. You can get very fancy with your letters. I'm going to put horizontal here. S's are tricky because you have to do half an S and the other half. Go ahead and make the T. And I'm not using a ruler on this. You can if you want to, but it's not necessary. Depends on how super straight you want your letters to be. For this demonstration, I think freehanding is fine. S, there's half my S. There's the other half of my S. All right, posters. Now my image is going to go in the middle, but since we're talking about guidelines today, I'm going to go ahead and put in my tagline, fun to make, so your product looks great. That's probably more than enough room for my image, so I'm going to start right here. I'm going to draw a really light line. Now, my other letters were 3.5 inches. I probably don't need quite as big a letter. Also, I've got more words in the bottom, so I need to make them a little bit smaller. So that's going to be my top line. Here's the space between them. Sometimes this space is called a gutter. Yes, just like the space between the sidewalk and the yard or the road. I'm just visually straightening. Again, I'm going to add, let's see, I think that's probably about halfway, so I'm going to give myself a little mark. Now, when we finish our posters and we have it all outlined in marker or whatever materials you're going to use, you're going to erase the pencil lines. If you're going to use crayon, I would recommend that you outline it in a permanent marker, erase the pencil lines, and then add the crayon. Because crayon and other oil-based or wax-based products tend to smudge whenever you erase over them. Okay, so fun to make. Again, it's time to count. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget to count the space. 4, 5, 6. There's a space. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, again, it's going to be easy because I just need 5 on either side, right? Because I have 1 left over. That means I'll have 1 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the O in 2 is going to be in the center. All right, I already have a center mark right here. So I'm going to go ahead. So 2 and then make is my next word. M, A, K, whoops, that K needs to come up. Fun to make. Whoops, I better put fun in here. Fun to make. Oh, this is going to be a hard one. Let's see. Maybe instead of so your, how about and? Or just so products look great. Let's change it. I'm going to edit my design. So products look great. 1, 2, spaces 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is the space. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I've got 23. I've got to figure out what half of 23 is to find my center point. So what I'm going to do is take 20, half of that is 10, half of 3 is 1.5. So that's going to be 1.5, so that's going to be 11.5, right? So if I have 11 on one side and 11 on the other side, then I'm going to have a letter in the middle. Oh, look, I marked the space. The space is 12. That means the S on products is going to be my center point. Here's my center. Space. Did a better K that time. Products look, uh-oh, great. It's okay, because I took this S off and added this, and I just forgot to put it in. G-R-E-A-T, and I'm going to put an exclamation point over here on the edge. So I've got to squeeze products in here. It's hard to spell backwards, but it's helpful if you have it already written down. So I'm going to go T, C, yes, U, D, O, R, E. And we changed it to so, and it's going to be a capital So right here. Fun to make, so products look great. Now I can go back, I can double these letters if I want to, I can fatten them up with a Sharpie, but now it's nice and evenly spaced. It's going to be very pleasing to look at.